floor. She hit both three-point attempts she took. She also had 8 rebounds, 2 assists in 34 minutes. 15 points for Brooke Robinson. She basically propelled this team to the win with her 6-0 run herself to give the team a 2-point lead, or actually a 1-point lead at the time. 10 points for Chelsea Romero with 7 rebounds. 4 points, 4 assists for Kendall Tonita. 7 points for Morgan Cooper and 1 point for Carly Bearden off the bench for their total of 57. The Pioneers get 14 out of Casey Johnson, 6 of 15 from the floor, 6 rebounds. 11 points out of Benny Makakala with 3 assists and 2 steals. 10 points for Sydney Wilson, 4 points for Jasmine Queen, 7 for Callie Patterson, 2 for Jasmine Williams, and 5 points for Malin Head for their total of 53. LR outscores Tusculum 34-12 in the paint. Tusculum outscores LR 27-10 and points off turnovers. 4 ties, 4 lead changes in this one as the Tusculum Pioneers fall to the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears 57-53. Still to come in our in-between look, we'll have Pioneer coach Devin Carter, his comments, and we'll take a look at our next contest, Tusculum and the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. That's all coming up here in between games. Again, your final in Game 1. It was the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears 57 and Tusculum 53. Stay tuned. Look at this week in Tusculum Athletics is on the way. This is Pioneer Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network. Weekend Tusculum Athletics spring season.
Sports Network, your home for Tusculum College sports. Now, head coach Devin Carter with...
We welcome you back into our Pioneer postgame coverage, where the Pioneers have fallen to the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears, a final of 57-53. A frustrated, arguably so. Devin Carter has joined us here on the postgame, but I think more frustrated because his team played well here today. It's an LR team. They utilized 2 8-0 runs in this game. First half, they built the lead. Second half, after you had built the lead, they were able to utilize that 8-0 run to take that advantage. Shot the ball well, but they were peaks and valleys, I think, offensively. Had to expect that, though, against one of the best defenses in the country, right?
Yeah. I felt like offensively we got a lot of shots that we wanted. Just didn't step up and knock them down. I can think of just a couple of wide open threes that we got, some pull-up jumpers that we got, and we just didn't knock them in when we needed to, and I felt like that was the difference in the ball game. We got great looks. I thought our girls defended fairly well. Thought we got great stops, but at the same time, left some shots out there that I wish we had back.
LR, what they liked, they were so efficient today, and I thought you did a good job adjusting to it. They're high-low.
Yeah.
They're big,
yeah.
and they're physical, and they were able to get some good, easy looks in there. But down the stretch when they needed it, that was their bread and butter, and somehow they were able to find ways to score.
Yeah, they're a real big team, and credit them, man. We've done a great job with it all game, and down the stretch, Romero and those girls did a great job of just knocking us down or knocking us under rather, and getting those shots off. So. Just a game, man, where we've got to finish. We've got to finish that game. And I told our girls, progress is there. I see it. They're competing. But just a couple of situations that, wish we could have back. So we'll move on from it. But it's going to hurt a little bit. We'll move on from it tomorrow. We'll bounce back next week.
I'll take the diplomatic approach.
Yep.
I think mentally we've got to be a little sharper. We have 3-second violations today. I had 4 of them.
Yeah.
I don't know that we have 4 in a year, typically. But we had 4 of those, and I can just think of one that was critical. And when it happened, I wasn't sure if I understood the rule with Casey with possession in the paint and then kicks it out. And even before Malin lets the shot go, the whistle was being blown for a 3-second violation. I'm not sure the rule. Malin makes that 3,
right, and
this game changes completely. And those are just some of the little things,
absolutely.
I think, for this team.
And that was a huge possession for us. I thought she got that ball out. And I know Malin was going to knock that down, so that was a tough situation for us.
You talked about the shots we didn't hit, and some of them were open threes, but I thought they did a good job contesting us a lot on some tough. They forced us to take some tough shots. Then we worked it so well. We didn't get the open shots to fall. I think that also is part of your frustration where you're talking about we didn't get some of those shots to fall down.
Yeah, I mean, just we got some open shots, and credit LR. They did a great job of contesting some of the shots that we did make. But a couple of times I felt like we came off and wasn't quite shot ready. Yeah. We were open and kind of hesitated a little bit, and then some other times just wide open. You got to step up and knock those down. So, but with that said, had a chance to win the ball game, but we got to just finish that game out, get some stops, and finish that ball game out. And I told the girls this one hurts a little bit because it's the small things kind of down the stretch did us in, most notably probably 50-50 balls. Yeah. Some balls that we could have got on the floor for, grabbed with 2 hands, and we tipped them or something like that. So, but we'll watch it on Monday, and we'll learn from it.
A lot of good things, too. We come up with a lot of steals. We turned them over, plus we scored off of their turnovers. And that's just, I go back to that December 14th game. We had 33 points.
Right.
We had 33 points.
Yeah.
We've come a long way since then, and this team never gave up and never quit, on their defensive end. And I think that's going to help this team because the way it looks, Queens right now was trailing, Coker was trailing. Everybody's going to kind of stay at least real close to each other. We have a lot of very winnable games. Tough stretch next week when we go on the road against nationally ranked LMU and then to Coker, a very long trip. But you're talking about some games down the stretch that we have to have the same type of effort. I think we have this same effort tonight. We're going to win a lot of games remaining on our schedule.
Yeah, no doubt. And I told our girls, the improvement is there, and that's what you want as a coach. You want your girls to start, playing well at the right time. But I told them just, we see progress, but you got to keep progressing, and so because a lot of teams in the country are getting better as well, and so we've got to continue to get better. We got to continue to work. But I told them, I was proud of their effort, not questioning that. But with progress, sometimes you got to step up in that moment and make some things happen. And so proud of our girls, nonetheless. I thought they competed hard. I thought they worked hard. I thought Malin gave us a spark there in the second half. Sydney stepped up, made some big shots for us. Jasmine Queen made some solid veteran plays for us. And so, we definitely got something to build on. Huge week for us next week. Huge week.
No question. Coach, thank you very much. Unfortunate today.
Thank you, sir.
It's Pioneer Coach Devin Carter as Pioneers fall to the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears, a final of 57-53. Coming up next, Game 2 of our doubleheader, Pioneers and the Bears. This is Pioneer Basketball on the Pioneers Sports Network.
Advances in medical imaging technology allow our doctors to detect, diagnose, and treat disease earlier and more accurately with less invasive methods. Ultrasound, MRI, and CT scanning make it possible for a doctor to see what's inside the human body. Never before have physicians had this kind of insight. It's a new day in healthcare. We have the technology. We have the team. Laughlin Memorial Hospital. Whatever you do, do it well.
You with me?
Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network with the voice of the Pioneers, Ryan Staten. On Sports Radio 1450 WSMG. Pioneer Basketball is a special presentation of the Pioneer Sports Network. Pioneer Basketball is on the air.
Yes, indeed. He's going to slow it down. Dangerous. On fire. He paints it home. Bang, bang, bang.
Pioneer Basketball, brought to you by Greenville.
We're going to have that one-game lead.
White and blue, Marathon Stock Market, Hometown Realty and Auction, Laughlin Memorial Hospital.
Got a lot of basketball
Executives, Greenville Light and Power.
Houston scores. Dunks it home. Amazing. Slams it in. One. Here comes Corey Poindexter. Alley-oop. Rebound. Tips around. Dieter got it. Got it. Pioneers win.
And now, Pioneer Basketball with the voice of the Pioneer.
We welcome you back into Pioneer Arena. Tusculum and the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears getting ready for Game 2 of our doubleheader. It's a Bear basketball team, 9-11 on the year. They are 8-7 in the league, but they're coming off 3 consecutive losses. And prior to that, they had 3 consecutive wins, or 4 wins in their previous 5 games. A lot of it is their schedule when you take a look at their games. Wingate, LMU, Catawba for their 3 straight losses. It's a Lenoir-Rhyne team coming off the loss, their 3rd consecutive loss to Catawba. Catawba has now won 5 straight. They were led by Jaron Morrison with 28 in the basketball game. Lenoir-Rhyne got Jock Chambers going as he finishes with 25, a career high. Darian Evans added 20. But KJ Arrington, who neared a triple-double, was just too much in the game. And despite hitting 12 three-pointers in the contest for the Bears, they still fell 87-76. Meanwhile, for this Pioneer basketball team, they used a pair of 16-3 runs in the second half, and the Pioneers rallied from a 12-point deficit to knock off Anderson 72-68. The Pioneers now gains a season split with the Trojans, avenging a December loss. But Tusculum still remains in 9th place in the conference standings, but they will move within 1 game of Anderson and Newberry, who were tied for 7th. Kendall Patterson had another special game for the Pioneers. He had 20 points. He had 3 three-pointers, including back-to-back, part of that 16-3 second-half run for the Pioneers. Zach Davis threw in 17. Last time these teams got together, December 14th. Jalen Veris paced 5 players in double-digit scoring with his 19-point effort as the Bears led wire to wire, 84-71. They scored the game's first 4 points, and they never looked back. Tusculum was led in scoring by Chase Mounts. He had a season-high 17 points. Kendall Patterson had just 16, and Ronnie Baylark added 13, including 11 in the second half. It's a Pioneer basketball team that, after a great start, stumbled right there in the middle of all of that. They were in the middle and the end of a 3-game losing skid when they fell to the Bears prior to knocking off Coker at home on December 17th. It's always been a great series, tonight being the 44th recorded meeting between these two in a series that began in 1926. The Bears lead 27-16, but have won 3 straight and 8 of the last 9 meetings. The Bears, who have won 4 in a row at Pioneer Arena, haven't lost at Tusculum since 2012. It's a Pioneer basketball team that looking to end that, obviously. Looking to win here at home for the first time in some time. Pioneers haven't won at home, as mentioned, since 2012. They won it 70-54 in the Bad Blood game, as the game that I like to consider between these two schools that you go back even a few years prior to that during the Jim Boone era. For these two basketball teams, for the LR Bears, they don't have that super special score, but they have 4 guys averaging double figures. They have 5 guys averaging right around 9 points. Darion Evans is leading the way at 14.6, and Reed Lucas has never seen a shot he does not like, is at 13.9 points a game. Kendall Patterson has been super special for this Pioneer team. He's averaging 16.1 points a game. Ronnie Baylark at 13.7, and Corey Fagan is bringing it, averaging 12.3 points a game on the year, but 12.9 points a game in South Atlantic Conference action. It's a Pioneer basketball team that will look to continue their late season surge. Can they get back-to-back wins on the year? Can they get their first win against the Bears? Come back and find out. We'll let you know. Pioneers and the Bears. It's game 2 of our doubleheader coming up next. This is Tusculum basketball. Tusculum and Lenoir-Rhyne here on the Pioneers Sports Network.
Pioneer Sports Network, brought to you by Greenville Federal Bank, the Red, White, and Blue Marathon Quick Stop Markets, Hometown Realty and Auction, Laughlin Memorial Hospital, Realty Executives, Greenville Light and Power. And now, with the call, the voice of the Pioneer.
And we welcome you back into Pioneer Arena for Tusculum and Lenoir-Rhyne, the 44th meeting between these schools. Let's take a look at your starting 5 for the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. It'll be Darion Evans, the 5'8 senior from Morganton, North Carolina. Reed Lucas, the 6'4 junior and the Army transfer out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Philippe Lescovar, the 6'8 sophomore out of Slovenia. Jalen Veris, the 5'11 senior out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the Tennessee Martin transfer. And Jacques Chambers, the 6'5 senior from Maysville, North Carolina. Coached by Everett Sullivan in his first season, assisted by John Lattimore, Tommy Matthews, and Blake Simmons. For Coach Sullivan, 9-11 this year, his 5th season overall, 116 wins against just 39 losses. A graduate of Louisville back in 1992. This Bear team has lost 3 straight, coming off a loss to Catawba, 87-76, who won their 5th straight. For the Tusculum Pioneers, it will be Corey Fagan, the 6'5 senior out of Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Chase Mounts, the 6'10 senior center from Elkin, North Carolina. Ronnie Baylark, the 6'2 junior guard out of Crestview, Florida, out of Marion Military Institute. Zach Davis, the 6'4 senior guard out of Christiansburg, Virginia. And it's Kendall Patterson, our Player of the Year candidate, the 5'11 senior guard out of Burlington, North Carolina. This is a season that he's had. He's 9th in the league in scoring, 1st in the league in assists, 2nd in the conference in steals. And he has been pouring it on definitely of late. 18 points a game in his last 10, and he's scored 10 or more points in his last 14 consecutive games. Kendall Patterson has a long way to go to beat the likes of someone like a Charles Clark or a Randall Shaw or someone like that for the scoring title, or even to get his name into serious contention into the Player of the Year candidacy. But he is playing a Player of the Year type mantle right now for this basketball team. Pioneers are coached by Mike Jones in his 6th season, just won his 50th game Wednesday here at Tusculum. 18 seasons overall, 225 career victories. They are 9-12 this year, 6-9 in the league, 1 game back of 8th place in the South Atlantic Conference, coming off a win against Anderson, 72-68. Pioneers assisted by Jay Welburn, KT Carter, the Lenoir-Rhyne graduate last year, and everybody's favorite student assistant, the All-American in our book, Brennan Hollowell. Our officials for today's game: Corey Haney, Joseph Major III, and Jeff Fancher is in the building. The opening tip will be won by Chase Mounts. We're underway. Glad you could be with us. Bryan State and Courtside Game Station Engineers, the executive producer of the Pioneer Sports Network, Nathan Humbert. Tusculum basketball, they move it left to right on your radio dial. Backdoor cut to Corey Fagan, who puts it in. Good bounce pass by Chase Mounts, and the big man with the big assist. And we're underway, 2-0. Into the front court quickly is going to be Chambers on the baseline for Verist. Verist down the lane, put it up off the glass and in. Dribble drive. This is a team that just likes to get to the rim. Did that a lot last year. Coach Everett Sullivan hasn't changed a whole lot in that regard. They'll take a bunch of threes, but they hit 12 in their last game. Patterson, extra pass to Davis. Davis on the drive, missing it wildly. Lucas saves the rebound out of bounds to Chambers. Bear basketball. Reed Lucas, extra pass in the corner. This will be Evans for 3. It's no good. Leskovar battling for the rebound, comes away with it. Evans with position scores. 4-2. LR. Patterson with it into the front court for the Pioneers on the right side. Patterson on the bounce, left side to Fagan. Fagan, left wing to Zach Davis. Davis, a couple of bounces, center of the floor. Here's Fagan. He says, give me a 3. Bang. Corey Fagan continues his school record for threes made consecutively. That's 38 consecutive games. Pioneers lead 5-4. Evans in the paint. Stops, back out Chambers. Chambers coming off a career high. Kick out 3 is good by Evans. So the Bears answer with the 3 of their own, and they come with pressure in the backcourt. Fagan will handle it against Evans. Spinning, takes it into the front court himself. Lucas comes over to help, and Patterson has it. Pioneers who hit that 3 just seconds ago, 117 consecutive games with a made 3-pointer. Baylark answers. Ronnie Baylark's in the top 5 in 3-point percentage. He's number 3 at 45%. It's 8-7 Tusculum. 17:45 to play first half. Verist into the corner, onto the baseline. This will be a 3 by Lucas. It's off the mark. Leskovar, offensive rebound. Verist with the left wing, puts it on the floor. He's so quick. Evans with the bounce pass into the baseline. He'll kick it out. This will be a long-range 2. Leskovar battling for a rebound. He's such a big, wide body inside. And Zach Davis, or Baylark, was whistled for that foul. It's going on Zach Davis. Davis picking up his first. They're trying to box him out. I mean, you can't say box out because they're putting their body leaning on him. Chambers on the inbound. Verist with it on the left wing. Puts it on the floor in the paint. Fadeaway is good. Tough runner. 17-15 in the first half. 9-8. We've gotten off to a great start here. Fagan has the ball knocked away from behind by Verist. 4 of 7 from the field for LR. Reed Lucas up ahead, mishandled it, took his eye off of it, and lost it. Zach Davis has it. Trying to go end-to-end the other way. Tusculum 3 of 4 from the field. Each team with the turnover. Right side, Patterson. Inside to Mounts. Lescavar can't stay with him. Missed the shot in close. Rebound by the Bears. Bears lead it 9-8. Into the front court, Verist on the right wing, picked up by Patterson. Chambers, Evans. He'll put it on the floor, into the paint. Fagan knocked it away. Patterson had it for a second, but the quick hands by Evans gets it right out to Reed Lucas for a three. It's no good. Mounts with the rebound. In the front court, this will be Patterson for the Pioneers. Patterson for three. In and out, no good, and the rebound comes down to the Bears. Evans quickly into the front court. At the top, Verist didn't take threes. Lucas. Fagan comes up with the steal. Fagan, rim rocker. Yes. Corey Fagan comes up with the dunk after the steal, and the Pioneers lead it 10-9. We have gone under 16 to play in the first half. Bounce pass to Lescavar. He puts it up and in. We're just trading buckets. And then a steal by Verist, who is out of bounds. And we'll go to a timeout. Timeout on the floor with 15:38 to play here in this first half. It's the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears 11 and Tusculum 10. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Homeownership is the foundation of the American dream. It is a significant milestone in your life and is an important financial investment. Realty Executives has years of experience in helping homebuyers and investors purchase real estate in East Tennessee. We have a strong commitment to our clients and work hard to form trusting relationships. If it is time for you to make a change, then call Realty Executives at 423-639-3465 and let us guide you home.
Stop into your neighborhood Marathon Quick Stop Market and pick up a 24-ounce Mellow Yellow for 99 cents. 30-ounce and 24-ounce stainless steel tumblers are only $9.99. Sierra Mist 20-ounce bottles and 2 liters are only 99 cents. And enjoy a free honey bun with any size coffee at Marathon Quick Stop. Run in when you run out.
Welcome back to the Pioneer Sports Network. Pioneer Basketball, your home for Tusculum College sports. Once again, the voice of the Pioneer.
Tusculum down 11-10 to the Bears. LR 5 of 9 from the field. They get 5 early points from Darion Evans. 7 first half points from Corey Fagan. 11-10 LR, Pioneer basketball. Fagan across the stripe to Patterson. Connor Mitchell is checked in early into this game. Right side to the left is Ronnie Baylark. Baylark, baseline to Patterson. Mitchell spinning, missing. Rebound taken by Reed Lucas. Bears basketball, they wear the road blacks. And the pass goes through the hands of Jarvis Calhoun, who thought the pass was for him. It was actually for Billy Bales, who did not play in the last time these teams played on December 14th. Billy Bales, but what a good player. Billy comes off the bench. Primarily 8 points is what he averages. The Elizabethton, Tennessee native. 11-10, Tusculum. Patterson to Connor Mitchell. Here's Baylark at the top, watched by Calhoun. Will take a jumper off the dribble. It's good. Ronnie Baylark got to the spot. Comfortable zone for him from 15 feet and knocked it in. 12-11, Tusculum by 1. Calhoun, Verist on the left wing is picked up by Patterson. Skip it. Lucas in the corner. Bales 3. No. Rebound taken away by Caleb Hodnett, who's into the game as well. Hodnett's out there with Patterson, Fagan, Baylark, and Mitchell. This will be a runner by Patterson, may have forced that one. 12-11, Tusculum, though, by 1. Bales up ahead. Verist at the foul line. Jumper is good. Verist so good, so quick. The Tennessee Martin transfer, the Baton Rouge, Louisiana native. It's 13-12, Bears. Patterson across the stripe. On the right wing in the front court for the Pioneers. Fagan straight away. He'll try a 3. He hit it. They're going to get Hodnett for an illegal screen. I didn't see that. I saw Hodnett getting grabbed and the guy kind of just grabbing him around. and then dragging Hodnett for a foul. But they're going to get Hodnett for the foul. I think lots of times officials see stuff out of the corner of their eyes and they don't see it clearly. We're all human, right? It's a lot like me. I don't see things very clearly. On the top, 3 ball on the way by Calhoun is good, and a 3 erased by the Tusculum Pioneers is given to the LR Bears, Jarvis Calhoun. 16-12, it's our largest lead of the game. Calhoun has been playing well. He's 40% from 3, averaging 9.2 points a game off the bench primarily, although he does have 9 starts this season. Fagan, bang. 16-15, Corey Fagan has hit his first 2 3-pointers. As a matter of fact, he's hit his first 3, but he had one wiped off on some kind of bogus illegal screen call. Calhoun in the corner. Cannot answer. Rebound is tipped. Trey Blevins has it for the Pioneers. So Trey Blevins out there with Hodnett, Fagan, Patterson, and Mitchell. Patterson down the lane. They're going to wipe off the bucket on the drive as Patterson scores. But they say, let's wipe it off. Foul is going to go on Billy Bales. Number 1 on him. Team's first as well. On the inbound, this is going to be Patterson baseline front court. We're under 13 to play in the first half. Fagan on the right wing. Here's Trey Blevins. Blevins. Fagan. Tusculum down 1. Patterson on the right wing. Hodnett to Blevins. As LR in some type of a matchup is what they are playing right now. Pioneers trying to figure it out. Blevins puts it on the floor, drives in, and missed the shot. Rebounded, though, by Connor Mitchell. Mitchell battles for it and keeps it alive for Tusculum. Left side front court. Patterson inside to Hodnett. Dunks it down. Caleb Hodnett. 17-16, Tusculum by a point. Chambers. Bales. Back out to the top. Evans. So quick on quick. Left side front court. This will be Calhoun. Bales for 3. No. Rebound by Connor Mitchell for the Pioneers. Under 12 to play in the first half. The Pioneers have a 1-point lead in a back-and-forth seesaw affair. Patterson. Mitchell. Steps out. Fagan 3. No. It's the most open he's been all game. But Patterson tracks down the rebound. Hodnett. Mitchell's underneath. He's fouled. And we'll go to a timeout. A break from Pioneer Arena. Back right after this. 11:42 to play here in this first half. It's Tusculum 17, Lenoir-Rhyne 16. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneers Sports Network.
Sports Network, your home for Pioneer basketball, with the voice of the Pioneers.
17-16, Tusculum leads by 1. 7-14 for both teams to start from the floor. Tusculum 3 of 5 from 3. The Bears are 2 for 9 from 3. Mitchell at the free throw line. No good on his first attempt. 36% on the year from the stripe for the third-year sophomore out of Kingsport. Got the second. Mitchell will exit. Chase Mounts into the basketball game for the Pioneers. Bears with the ball, down 2. Evans, Lucas. Zach Hartle's on the floor. Lucas tries to scoop shot. It's no good. Leskovar tips it out. Well, Leskovar's been active. Calhoun. Yes. 18-18 on a 15-foot jumper off the dribble by Calhoun. Patterson across the stripe for the Pioneers. Gives it up to Zach Hartle. Left side to Hodnett. Hodnett mounts. Back to Hodnett. Baseline three. Yes! Caleb Hodnett for three. Give it up and move. Get to a better spot. Pass and move. Boy, it's such a simple concept. Lucas skips it to Chambers. Evans around the perimeter. Watched by Blevins. Crossover, fade away, tough shot, won't go. Rebound, Hartle hits the floor hard as he comes down on the elbow. Apparently he's okay. Pioneers do have possession and a 3-point lead, 21-18. Patterson, little scoop shot up and under, and he was too far under. He hit the bottom of the rim. Bears on the sprint. Calhoun for three, no. Leskovar, another rebound, but Zach Hartle takes it away. Pass up ahead is Patterson. Patterson looks to go, turned it over nearly. It's been a tough start in this game for Patterson. Mounts goes to the floor, and the ball will be tied up, and the arrow to the Bears. It's when you see a 6'10" big man go to the floor, you either get out of the way or you make sure you secure it. And that time for the Bears, they were able to secure at least simultaneous possession. Bear basketball down 3, 21-18. Vriest in the front court. Leskovar setting a screen. Right side, baseline. Dribble drive, Evans. Tough shot, goes. Double clutching, falling away from the bucket, gets it to go. Evans wanted a foul. He looks at Fancher. He says, come on, man. He could be in an episode of Come On, Man. Right side, Fred Court. On the right wing, Blevins off a screen. Missed jumper. Mounts tried to tip the rebound in, could not. Leskovar clears the board again. Into the Fred Court is Lucas. Lucas, little scoop shot on Mounts, got it to fall. 22-21. Bears have scored 4 unanswered and lead by 1. Leskovar, 7 first-half rebounds already. 9:15 to play in the half. Left side front court to Blevins. Patterson, right side to Hodnett. Mounts. Facing Leskovar. Spinning on Leskovar. Banking it in over Leskovar. 23-22 Tusculum. Vriest into the Fred court on the top. Watched by Patterson, quick on quick. Here's Lucas. Back to the top. Vriest around Hodnett, and the ball knocked away. Leskovar battling it. And we're going to get an alternate arrow possession to the Pioneers. Corey Fagan back in. Ben Zemanek will check into the game as well. Blevins working around Vriest, staying right in his back pocket. Skip pass, Hartle to Fagan. Fagan to the top, back to Blevins. Patterson getting a breather here in the early going. Right side, Hodnett. Down the lane, looks underneath from Mounts. Good pass, good catch, good shot. 25-22 Tusculum, quickly forcing to tempo. Here comes LR. Vriest back to Evans. Chambers, Lucas, fakes a three, drives in for a better look, missed it. Zemanek comes up with the rebound over the back, and then Tusculum knocked it out of bounds, I believe. Mitchell back in for Mounts. Zach Davis will check back into the game for Zach Hartle. Bear basketball down 3, 25-22. Billy Bales on the inbound for the Bears. They'll lob it out to the top of the key, or actually near midcourt. That's going to be Vriest. Left side, Bales. Baseline. Bounce pass. Oh, good pass. Good finish, Vriest. Better bounce pass by Zemanek. 25-24. Tusculum by a point. Blevins, change of direction. Gives it up to Zach Davis. Back to Blevins. Blevins bouncing it, holding it. Fagan gives it up inside to Mitchell, banks it in, count it one. We'll shoot free throws when we return right after this. 7:25 to play in the first half. It's Tusculum 27, the Bears 24. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Payments included in your power bill. Remember, you must have your free e-store inspection performed before you can apply for the loan. Complete details from Greenville Light and Power, 636-6200.
Pioneer basketball with the Pioneer Sports Network. Your home for Tusculum College sports. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers.
Tusculum leads 27-24. Elsewhere in the Tusculum scoreboard here today, Tusculum men's baseball had a 5-1 lead, couldn't hold it. They fall to Palm Beach Atlantic 6-5 today. Mitchell cannot hit the three-point play, but the Pioneers lead by 3. Meanwhile, Jenna Hanshew's women's lacrosse team has started 1-0. They defeat Erskine on the road and Due West, South Carolina, 17-6. Three ball is no good. Rebound is tipped by Chambers, but controlled by Zach Davis. Softball in action today. They're down in action against Georgia Southwestern for a doubleheader today. Tomorrow against Clark Atlanta. And a Georgia swing here the opening weekend for spring sports. Davis to Baylark. Baylark to Davis. Down the lane, Davis. Left-hander is no good. Chambers soars for the rebound. 27-24, Verist. Change of direction. Chambers for the tie is short. Zach Davis with the rebound. He looks to run, but he'd be 1v4 if he went. And I'm actually quite shocked he didn't go, but he doesn't. Baseline three by Baylark is no good. Rebound, Davis. Yes. Zach Davis. 29-24, Tusculum with their largest lead. In the corner, a three ball by Bales finally gets one to fall. Billy Bales hits the three. 29-27, Tusculum. 6 minutes left in the half. Across the stripe, Kendall Patterson. On the left wing. From the top, picks up the dribble. Here's Baylark. Baylark, Fagan. His three is no good, and the rebound comes down to LR. Darion Evans into the front court for the Bears. Evans will take a jumper off the dribble for two to tie the game at 29. 5 unanswered by the Bears. Tough start for Patterson. He's 0 for 3, yet to score. Does have 3 assists. He has the basketball right now for the Pioneers. Connor Mitchell gives it up to Fagan, to Patterson. Baylark off the dribble for 2. In and out, no good. The Pioneers have missed their last 3. Right side, Evans tried to dribble between a double team. Zach Davis digs it out of there and comes up with the ball for the Pioneers. Corey Fagan wants to attack, puts it on the floor around Chambers. A lot of contact, nothing. And the loose ball picked up by Bales. Pioneers have missed 4 straight. 29-29. Varese, illegal screen on Zimonek. That'll be number 1 on him. And team foul number 3. Lucas, Lescavar, Calhoun back in. Hodnett also back into the game for the Pioneers with Chase Mounts. Pioneers 12 of 26 from the floor, but are just 1 for their last 6 and have missed 4 straight. 4 of 8 from 3. The Bears 13 of 26 for the game, 3 of 13 from 3. Into the corner is Zach Davis for 3. Yes, Zach Davis with the baseline three-pointer. 32-29, Tusculum. Reed Lucas, Billy Bales puts it on the floor, drives in, kicks it out, left wing, drive, Calhoun, jumper, short, rebound, Tusculum. Fagan, right side, front court is Patterson. Lobbing it for Hodnett, mistimed his jump, got it anyway and banked it in. 34-29, Patterson taking his game as the distributor so far. With it is going to be Branford Rogers. Calhoun missing, Leskovar rebounding his 8th. Leskovar traveled. And they're going to get a foul. Yeah, but he took 8 steps before he got fouled. We go to a break with your score. 3:45 to play in the first half. It's Tusculum 34, LR 29. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Pioneer Sports Network. Pioneer Basketball, your home for Tusculum College sports. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers.
Leskovar will go to the free throw line, 67% on the year this season, 12 of 18. Tusculum leading 34-29 here at the half. His first is no good. Elsewhere in the league, Lincoln Memorial has held off Wingate, 95-89 from Harrogate. Mars Hill leading Newberry 16-12. Coker 6-4 over Anderson. Queens leads Brevard 6-2. Obviously, very early action. Commissioner Patrick Britt's in the house to hand out some football hardware coming up at the half. Leskovar goes 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Tusculum basketball with a 5-point lead. They have their largest lead of the half, equaling it. Chase Mounts gives it up to Hodnett. Mounts just stood there with his back to the bucket, no pressure, as if to say, what do I do now? Shoot it. He missed it. Rebounded by the Bears. You're a good shooter. Take that shot. Verist with it into the front court. Crossover dribble. Extra pass, Calhoun. Verist. Boy, he is quick as lightning. We approach 3 minutes to play in the half. Verist. Chambers for 3. No. Rebound, Chase Mounts for the Pioneers. 3 of 14 from 3 for the Bears. Hodnett will drive and run into Leskovar. Oh, and that's a travel. It is a travel. But the fact that they didn't get the travel down here when Leskovar took 8 steps and they called a foul there, a little inconsistency. It's an interesting fact that for the LR Bears, they have attempted 14 three-pointers. They attempt a bunch. There's no question about it. They make the second most in the league at 11.3 per contest. And they attempt the second most as well, almost 30 a game. They're halfway there, nearly, with make that 2.5 to play in the first half. Evans, Chambers a 3, short, long rebound to Patterson. The shot was so badly missed, it was an awkward carom off the side of the backboard. Davis down the lane. I guess he just tripped on his own. I guess we just trip on our own. We're so terrible at walking, we can't even walk right. We can't run right. We can't walk right. What is it, like we're 4 months old or something? We can't do this thing? I guess we didn't trip. Jumper by Chambers is no good. Anyway, back to basketball. I'm not worried about taking our first steps as infants. I'm worried about winning a ball game. It's 34-29. Pass is too far for Chase Mounts. He can't hold on to it, and the Pioneers turn it over. Meanwhile, back to basketball. It's a 5-point game. The Pioneers lead. Veriste into the corner to Chambers. He hasn't been very successful from that corner, so he passes on a semi-open shot. A minute and a half to play. Left side, Chambers. Lescavar in the paint, double team. Fagan knocks the ball out of bounds with 4 to shoot. Billy Bales and Evans come back into the game. Zemanek will also check into the game. LR will throw it in with 1:27 on the clock as well. Lucas. Zemanek turned it over. Pioneers have the basketball. Patterson, who has yet to score in the game. No points, but 4 assists. Has it in the front court. When was the last time we said that? Well, we'll look it up for you. Right side, front court. This will be Patterson. 3 by Patterson. We just looked unorganized offensively, and Patterson misses. He's 0 for 4 from the field. Left side front court, Bales. 3 is blocked. Davis has it, and then a Bales foul trying to get the ball back. Billy will pick up his second, one of the team's 4th. So I do not have the last time that Kendall Patterson did not score in the first half. I can tell you it has not been in recent memory. 45 seconds to play in the half. Patterson on the right wing. Mounts in the paint. And Mounts is going to take an awkward fall to the floor. And a foul on Zemanek is going to be his second. Team foul number 5. Or the team 6, sorry. Another Pioneer hits the floor. Hodnett in the paint. No. Gets it back. Puts it in. Yes. Largest lead of the game for the Pioneers, 36-29. And a timeout by Everett Sullivan. Burn it or lose it timeout. And he takes it here. So, Pioneers, who lead the game 36-29, will take their show on the road next week. For the men, they will travel to Atlanta on Tuesday to take on the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. I will not be making that trip. It's a late season exhibition game. I have high school obligations on that Tuesday night, so you can check it out through Georgia Tech. Then we'll travel to Harrogate. I'll be with the team there in Harrogate on Wednesday against nationally ranked Lincoln Memorial, who have survived Wingate at home today, 95-89. And then we'll wrap up the week next week on the road at Coker. So we go 5 hours one way to downtown Atlanta, hour and a half one way to LMU, and then 5.5 hours one way to Coker. Next week, a lot of traveling for the Pioneers, and then they don't travel again until the last game of the season. 23 seconds to play in the half. Pioneers by 7. Patterson defending on Veriste. There's a second difference game to shot clock. Lucas, Veriste, spins, fades, shoots, misses. Rebound taken away by the Pioneers. And 6 seconds to play here in the first half. Mike Jones gets that timeout that he must use or lose. So I love how the officials always come over to ask, what do you want? What do you think we want? We want the timeout that we have to use here or we lose. So it's always a third. It's what they want. If they go sit down, they'll take a minute. They never want a minute. Never. Lenoir-Rhyne Bears will be home to Coker their next game on Wednesday before they travel to Mossy Creek to take on Carson Newman a week from today. They are right in the thick of things, 8-7 in the league. Newberry and Anderson are tied for 7th. LR right now has the number 6 spot in the South Atlantic Conference. Queens and LMU have locked up South Atlantic Conference berths. Tournament berths. Patterson spins, hand-checked, fades at the buzzer is no good, and that will end the first half of play. Patterson does not score in the first half, but Fagan and Hodnett combined for 19, and the Pioneers will go to the locker room leading by 7. Coming up here at the half, a look at this week in Tusculum Athletics, your first half statistics and scores from around the league. That's when we return right after this. At the half, Tusculum 36, the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears 29. Pioneer basketball continues right here on the Pioneers Sports Network.
Radiologists are doctors who are specialists in diagnosing and treating disease and injury by using the technology of medical imaging. Our radiologists.
And I'll be back to let us know what we do after that.
Got it. 90-o, Delio.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. Yo.
Technology. We have the team. Laughlin Memorial Hospital. Whatever you do it well.
Whenever there's a project to make our community a better place to live, you'll always find our local merchants right there doing all they can to help. From sponsoring the kids' ball teams to serving barbecue at a community picnic, they're always there. Be community-minded. Shop and invest locally. Greenville Federal Bank, member FDIC. Banking made easy.
Wherever you look, you'll see our signs, and behind them, another local home for sale. But there's a lot more behind our signs you don't see.
Nice looking home. Let's go in.
I have a good feeling about this one.
When you see our sign out front, you know you're dealing with a reputable local realtor who knows your area. Hometown Realty is your sign of success.
Representing Tusculum on the 2016 All-Conference second team, our defensive back, Jay Boyd. Linebacker, Harris Bell. And defensive lineman, Brandon Williams. And representing Tusculum on the All-Conference first team as a return specialist, Jay Boyd. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for your 2016 All-Southland Conference football team. It's now time to present the 2016 Southland Conference Defensive Freshman of the Year Award. This year's recipient from Tusculum, Jay Boyd. Besides earning All-Conference honors in two positions, Boyd earned All-American honors and was named Region Freshman of the Year. Let's hear a round of applause and congratulating Jay Boyd, the 2016 second Defensive Freshman of the Year. And at this time, we would like all members of the Tusculum College football team and coaching staff, please stand up and be recognized at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, this next ball
Evans, 2.7 rebounds out of Philip Lescavar, 2 points from Reed Lucas, 8 points from Jalen Veriste, no points but 5 boards out of Jacques Chambers. Chambers again coming off a career high. 3 points out of Billy Bales, 5 points out of Jarvis Calhoun for their total of 29. Tusculum outscores LR 18-14 in the paint. 12 lead changes, 3 ties in the first half. Second half action will be on your way pretty soon, so stick around. But coming up, we'll check scores around the league. That's when we return to Pioneer Arena right after this. It's Tusculum at 36 and the Bears 29. Pioneer basketball continues right here on the Pioneers Sports Network. Wins, and that did not change. At halftime, it's Mars Hill leading Newberry 38-34. It would help. It would keep Newberry here, and that would move us into a tie for 7th if this score holds, if that score is to hold. Anderson is leading Coker 33-22. 7th-ranked Queens leads Brevard 35-21. And it is Carson Newman leading Catawba 27-22. They're still in the first half there. Earlier today, the Tusculum women played as good a game as we've seen in a while. Of course, we saw Wednesday night. And they equaled that intensity, but just couldn't get the shots to fall they did on Wednesday. They fall to the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears 57-53 as LR goes to 14-8, 10-6 now in the league. And the Pioneers fall to 5-15, now to 4-12 in league play. But they are still right there. The teams ahead of them also lost, or I should say the teams they are tied with for the 8th and final spot in the postseason also lost today, and both Coker and Queens, and they both have them on the schedule coming up in the very near future. Next week, both of the Pioneer teams, these Tusculum men, will travel to Georgia Tech to take on the Yellow Jackets in an exhibition game on Tuesday. We jump back into conference play after a rough road game. You would think the Pioneers may just go straight to Harrigan, but we'll take on Lincoln Memorial next Wednesday. Coverage will begin with the Pioneer tip-off show at 5:45, the women at 6, the men to follow. And then on Saturday, it's Coker. We travel to Hartsville, South Carolina to take on the Cobras for Saturday afternoon basketball. It's homecoming at Coker, so we'll have extended halftime periods as the women will tip it off at 2, the men to follow. Second half action returns when we return. Thanks for listening to the Pioneer Halftime Report here at the break. It is Tusculum 36. It's Lenoir-Rhyne 29. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneers Sports Network.
Greenville Federal Bank.
The red, white, and blue Marathon Quick Stop Markets.
Hometown Realty and Auction. Laughlin Memorial Hospital. Realty Executives. Greenville Light and Power. And now, with the call, the voice of the Pioneers.
The Tusculum Pioneers and the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. We start the second half. We took some time off the clock to start the second half. I didn't get a chance to properly welcome you back. Bobby's so quick on that. Darion Evans losing it out of bounds. He was going to be blocked by Chase Mounts. And so he tried to put the ball on the floor and do something real fancy, but he faked himself out. So let's start the second half properly now. 36-29, Tusculum with the basketball and the lead. They move it right to left as I view it. As you view it, it's the opposite. This will be Davis in the lane. Jumper's good. You make a better door than a window. In the front court, Bears. Tusculum has the largest lead. Veriste to start this second half on the right side. Lescavar's out there with Lucas and Jaquez Chambers. Lucas, Veriste in the paint. Lescavar puts it up, missed it. Rebound by Zach Davis. Well, it looked like Veriste had a pretty easy opportunity, but he gave it up. Inside the paint, Chase Mounts around Lescavar. No, there's Davis to follow. Zach Hartle starts the second half for the Pioneers. Baylark does not start the second. Hope that's not injury related. Reed Lucas always ready to shoot, missing. And the bullet pass from Mounts up ahead to Davis, and they miss him and throw it out of bounds. Good idea, good look. And Everett Sullivan wants a timeout right away. We'll take the timeout as well. Back in 1 minute to Pioneer Arena. 18:40 to play in the game. It's Tusculum 40, Lenoir-Rhyne 29. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Read our 5-star reviews. Let Realty Executives guide you home.
This is Tusculum College Sports, the Pioneer Sports Network. Your home for Pioneer basketball with the voice of the Pioneer.
Jaquez Chambers for a three is no good, but there's the ball tipped away by Evans. He's so quick. Chambers back to Reed Lucas. Pioneers get a stop, but they can't secure it. Evans in the paint. Tough fadeaway is good. Darion Evans. 40-31 at Tusculum. Kendall Patterson across the stripe. He has not scored. Mounts. Here's Hartle for three. Short. Evans quickly to the front court. Lucas a three. Big moment here. Reed Lucas hits the three. Lucas just his fifth point. $17 and a half to play. Zach Davis puts it on the floor, tried to give it back to Mounts, but Reed Lucas stepped in front of the pass, stole it. Veriste up ahead of everybody, puts it in. 7 unanswered. 40-36. Tusculum by 4. Ninth turnover for the Pioneers results in the 9th point off of a turnover by the Bears. Davis and one. That's a run stopper. The personal foul goes on Lescavar, will be his first, team foul number 1. So Zach Davis will go to the free throw line. Good. 43-36. LR had their 7-0 run interrupted. Reed Lucas, step back 3. No. Rebound by Patterson. He's looking to run. LR trying to get back, but Chase Mounts running the floor, and Patterson seeing it. 45-36. Tusculum by 9. Veriste on the left side. Back at the top, Veriste down the lane, walked. Oh no, we're going to get a foul first, I believe. That'll be the case. Corey Fagan will pick up his first. It'll be the team's first here of this second half as well. On the inbound, it's going to be Reed Lucas for the Bears. 16.5 to play here in this basketball game. Veriste handling, driving, spinning, shooting, missing. It rims out. Rebound comes down to Fagan. Pioneer basketball, 6:10 to play. 45-36. Kendall Patterson outside. Zach Davis. Davis bouncing it to Patterson. Hartle. Back to Patterson. It's stolen by Veriste so quick. Hartle tried to get it back. Evans now will lob it for Chambers, who missed the dunk. It was going to be tough anyway on the lob. Patterson. And Reed Lucas gives Patterson a little extra. And then Lucas has some words for the bench. A personal foul goes on Darion Evans, will be his first, team second. And that takes us to a timeout so we can calm this madness down. 15:48 to play. It's Tusculum 45, LR 36. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network. Your home for Tusculum College sports. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers.
Little fracas ended as KT Carter jumped off the bench. He was the first for the Pioneers, the Lenoir-Rhyne graduate, to get a hold of Patterson, who was frustrated after he was knocked aggressively to the floor by Reed Lucas. We'll see if cooler heads prevail. We come out of the timeout, Tusculum leading it by 9, 45-36. Hodnett for a 3 is short. Lucas with the rebound. Right side, Fred Court. This will be Veriste. Lobbing it into the corner. Bales into the game. Bouncing it to Lescavar. Mitchell battling, tipping it out. Can Fagan save it? He does. Pioneers get a stop. Fagan to Zach Davis. Lobbing it for Hodnett in one motion, missing, but drawing the foul. Reed Lucas will be whistled for the personal. It'll be his first. Team foul number 3. And Hodnett will go to the free throw line. That's a good look for the Pioneers inside. Hodnett will go to the stripe, just 53% this year from the free throw line. He makes the first. Best game this year has been a 12-point game against Belmont Abbey. That's his 10th point. Missing the second. Mitchell grabbing the rebound for the Pioneers. Tusculum by 10, 46-36. LR went on a 7-0 run. Pioneers have responded with a mini 6-0 spurt. Hodnett looking inside, knocked away, and stolen by the Bears. Here comes Calhoun into the front court for LR. Back out to Verist. Verist on the left wing. Left side, Lucas. Calhoun puts it on the floor, penetrates, kicks it out, Verist. 10 to shoot. Watched by Hodnett, stays in front of him. Oh, he didn't stay in front of him there. Fading away, hitting. Tough shot by Verist, who knocked it down. 6 of 8 from the field for Verist. He has a team-high 12. Tied for the game-high honor to this point. Patterson, a little blow-by. Still can't find that first field goal. Missing. A whistle for a foul on Billy Bales will be his third. And the team's fourth. Philippe Lescovar, pardon me, is going to check back into the game. Patterson on the inbound. Need some help? Zach Davis will take it away from Hodnett. Here's Hodnett on the left wing, lobbing it to Patterson. Zemanek will defend him. Patterson tried to shuffle it off inside, but Patterson so quick was shoved, and another foul against the Bears. Zemanek with his third, team's fifth. Patterson on the inbound for the Pioneers. Lobbing it, bouncing it to Hodnett. Offensive foul on Hodnett. Patterson with 5 assists in the game, but no points. Jacques Chambers back into the game. 13:58 to play. Pioneers lead 46-38. But turn it over the 12th time here in this basketball game for Tusculum. Verist outside. Chambers fakes a three. Verist. Chambers, baseline three. He's fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot 3 free throws as Connor Mitchell tried to get out there to defend it. Connor will pick up his first. Team's second here of this second half. It'll send Chambers to the free throw line for the Bears. 84% on the year from the stripe, 59 of 70 coming in. Chambers, the senior out of Maysville, missing on the first opportunity. Second free throw for Chambers. It's good. He'll have one more. Second for Chambers. Third, I should say. Rims in good. Makes 2 of 3. 46-40. Pioneers by 6. Little bit of a funk offensively, especially if you ask Kendall Patterson, who's 0 for 5 from the field. No points. No free throw attempts. 5 assists, though. Hodnett, Zach Davis. Trying to feed Mitchell. They get it to him. Defended by Lescovar. Hook shot is good by Connor Mitchell. Good positioning. 48-40, Tusculum. Verist Lucas ready to go for 3 is good. Man, he catches that thing. If he catches it anywhere around his head, that's his natural shooting position. And he just lets it go. Lucas with another 3. 48-43, Tusculum. Second most dangerous team in the South Atlantic Conference in threes made per game. Patterson bouncing it to Davis, missing. Patterson somehow with the rebound, tried to force one up. He missed it. Lescovar battles for the loose ball. It's out of bounds to LR. Well, Patterson put a little extra effort in there, but didn't get a call inside. Got an offensive rebound, doing everything possibly, humanly possible, but still it's just not going through the cylinder. He's a bit frustrated. Young man averaging 18 points a game. in his last 10 and has scored 10 or more in 14 in a row. LR basketball, they trail by 5, but a big moment here. Calhoun for a 3. No. Weak side rebound, Chambers. No. Lescavar has the rebound, goes to the floor with it, and travels. Pioneers have the basketball back. Chase Mounts back into the game for Connor Mitchell. Mounts, who's 3 of 6 from the field, led the team in scoring the last time these teams met. Seemed like a whole season ago, December 14th. Basketball season so long. Patterson takes it across the stripe for the Pioneers. Right at 12 minutes to play in the game. Leaking a little offensive oil here. Mounts, Blevins. He'll go baseline. Lucas shuts him down there. Blevins brings it back to the top with 8 to shoot. Zach Davis. Blevins, baseline 3. No. And the rebound to the Bears. Good look, but Pioneers couldn't score. Evans backing down Blevins for a 3. It's no good. Rebound taken by Hodnett. Quick trigger 3 by Darion Evans. Patterson brings it across the stripe. 11:20 to play. Pioneers lead by 5. Davis in the corner. Watched by Reed Lucas. Gets some separation. Takes a 3. Missed the 3. Chambers with the rebound. Evans will force tempo. Pioneers in a bad way offensively. Really struggling. 20 of 45 from the field. 44%. 11 minutes to play. Evans to Lucas in the corner. Open is Calhoun for a 3. He hit it. And it's down to 2. 48-46. The 3 ball is the 6th made by LR in the game. Pioneers need points on this possession. Mounts gives it back to Patterson. Davis driving to the bucket, some contact, and he'll go to the free throw line when we return from this timeout. We go to a break. It's Tusculum 48, Lenoir-Rhyne 46. 10:29 left in the game. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Tusculum College Sports. Once again, the voice of the Pioneer.
48-46. $10:29 to play. At the free throw line, Zach Davis unable to hit his first. Tusculum 5 of 12 shooting here in the second half. LR 6 of 16, but of those 6 made field goals, 3 of them have come from 3. Davis missed them both. LR can tie or take the lead. Chambers to Billy Bales. Bales, Evans for the lead. No. Rebounded by Patterson. Patterson into the front court. Yet to score is Patterson, 0 for 6. Watched by Evans. It's been matched quick on quick in this game, both Evans and Verist. That's a tough guard for Patterson. He'll try a 3. Miss. Hodnett tips it out to Patterson. Drives. Behind the back pass to Mounts. Lost it going up. was a good look by Patterson. Mounts was ready, but he just had it slip right off the end of his fingertips. Keaton Dotson will check into the game. Trey Blevins in, and Fagan is back in. Blevins in there with Dotson, Hodnett, Mounts, and Fagan. We need some offensive magic. Right now, need another stop. Bales on the left wing. Evans. Skipping it out to Chambers. Calhoun for the lead. In and out is no good. And a rebound foul on Zemanek of the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears will be his fourth. And that will be the 1-and-1 for Chase Mounts coming to the other end of the floor. Reed Lucas, Bariste, and Leskovar back into the game for the Bears. So at the free throw line, this will be Chase Mounts. Missing the front end of a 1-and-1. Rebounded by LR. Got to make free throws. Lucas for the lead. This one's no good. Offensive rebound, though, by Darion Evans. Lucas again for the lead. This one is no good. Rebounded by Corey Fagan of the Pioneers. Survived a couple of three-point shots. The Pioneers leaking oil offensively. Give it up to Keaton Dotson. Into the paint, Chase Mounts. Over Leskovar, yes. Mounts hitting, not easy. Straight away from about 4 feet. 50-46. LR was down 40-29, then 46-36. And had 3 straight possessions with the chance for the lead. Bariste, and a blocking foul going against Blevins. And a whistle and a foul is going to go on Trey Blevins, will be his first, team foul number 3. Looked like Bariste just lowered his shoulder right into the midsection of Trey Blevins and gained some separation. The official saw it totally differently. I saw it absolutely totally differently. Into the basketball game, Jacob Skidmore, the 6'7 freshman out of Kings Mountain, North Carolina, is in. 50-46. Bariste missing in low. And then Brandon Danso grabs the rebound, and he'll be fouled by Skidmore. Danso's going to have to earn it at the stripe, though. We have not been very good there. Skidmore picks up his first. Already team foul number 8. At the free throw line, this is going to be Brandon Danso. His first is good, his second is good. (52-46) Tusculum. Lucas, some separation. Jumper is no good. Rebound taken away by Hodnett. In the front court, this will be Trey Blevins. Blevins with it on the right side. Diaper dandies galore on the floor for the Pioneers, 4 of them. With Fagan. Fagan, left wing 3. Bang! Corey Fagan. And all of a sudden, it's 55-46. Right side front court comes LR's Bariste in the front court on the right side on the dribble between the legs. Kick it over left side to Evans. Quick first step in the lane, and his runner is good. Got around Danso and scored it. Ball got away from the official. That'll take us to a timeout. 7:34 to play in the game. We go to a break with your score. It's Tusculum 55 and the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears 48. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Pioneer Sports Network, your home for Pioneer basketball, with the voice of the Pioneers.
55-48 is our score. The Tusculum Pioneers with the lead against the Bears. Tusculum is 7 of 15 shooting here in the second half. The Bears 7 of 23. Tusculum with the full complement of timeouts remaining here in this second half, 3 of them, and the Bears with 2. The Pioneers have the arrow. 7:25 to play. Trey Blevins with Hodnett, Fagan, Danso, and Keaton Dotson on the floor for the Pioneers. Yeah. The 4 grown-up freshmen on the floor, and Fagan. His 3 is in and out. Rebounded by Chambers. Here comes Evans, 100 miles an hour to the front court to Varese, who goes 101 miles an hour. Varese pull up, elbow, rim, no. Rebound taken away by Hodnett for the Pioneers. Caleb Hodnett with 10 points, 8 rebounds in this basketball game. Right side front court, skip it, left side to Blevins. Blevins in the corner is Hodnett, left open for 3. Yes! Caleb Hodnett for the Pioneers. A new career high. He has 13. The Pioneers lead by 10. Just about 8 possessions ago, the Bears were going in for 3-point efforts to take the lead. Pioneers have the ball back on a Reed Lucas missed driving layup. Since then, the Pioneers on a 10-0 run. Pardon me, a 10-2 run. And have hit field goals in 4 of their last 7 possessions. 58-48 Tusculum. Keaton Dotson, Fagan, bouncing it. Danso goes up strong, rejected. Varese with the rebound and goes the other way. Trailing is Calhoun. Driving on Danso. Draws the foul on Danso. Kind of jumped into Brandon. Either way, the foul goes on Danso. Will be his first. Team foul number 4. It will send Calhoun to the free throw line for the Bears. It was not a fan-friendly call. Not much is. Going against the Pioneers here at home. Calhoun to the strike. A rare miss for him at the free throw line. Of course, he doesn't attempt many. 83% on the year. He had only missed 3 on 18 attempts. But he misses here. It's his 4th miss of the season. He makes 1 of 2. 58-49. 6 minutes to play. Pioneers trying to hold on to this homestand and get 2 wins. Blevins. Fagan, 3. Yes! Corey Fagan knocks in another 3-pointer. Fagan with 16. 4 of 7 from 3. Pioneers by 12 is their largest lead of the night. 61-49. Varese. Calhoun. Driving, missing, rebounded by Dotson. Outlet to Blevins. Blevins will take it into the front court, weaving his way through traffic. Fagan trails, gives it up to Dotson on the left wing. Hodnett, who has 13. Zach Davis has 12. But it's the youngsters on the floor giving him a spark with Fagan, and he misses this one off of the shot clock. .24 of 53 shooting for the Pioneers. They've hit 8 3-pointers to the Bears' 6. Bears have attempted 28 to the Pioneers' 21 in this one. 5:05 to play when Varese picks it up in the Bear front court. Lucas, straight away 3-pointer. That one will not go. Rebound is loose. It's on the floor. Danso has it. Gives it up to Dotson. And what happened? Apparently, Dotson stepped out of bounds when the Pioneers gained possession. So we'll give it back to the Bears. Dotson has some long strides if he stepped out of bounds there. But he did. Bales on the inbound will go to the midcourt stripe. Bales gets it back for a 3, and that's good. Billy Bales hits the 3. No lead is safe against this Bear team. Second in the league in made 3-pointers at 11 per game. They have 7. Varese upset, and he'll be whistled for a foul. That's just his first. 1-1 for Trey Blevins, who will go to the stripe. 430 career-made three-pointers. Kentucky high school state record. As a high school senior, averaged 24 points a game. All-region, two-time team MVP, academic All-State, and a member of three district championship teams. You know how difficult that is in the state of Kentucky, how they do the playoffs, how everybody does them, outside of the state of Tennessee, where you can lose 4 games and still get to the state championship. It's crazy. 63-52 as Blevins makes both free throws. Verist will pick it up in their midcourt, 4:38 on the clock. Verist, Evans for a 3 off the dribble is off the mark badly. Rebounded by Danso of the Pioneers. Tusculum ball, Keaton Dotson into the front court. Mike Jones has gone with his young squad for quite a while with the senior elder statesman, Corey Fagan. 4 freshmen and Fagan. Right side front court, here's Blevins. Bounce it to Danso, draws some contact, and will go to the free throw line and shoot 2 on a double bonus. Jacques Chambers picks up his second with 4:11 to play here in this one. Back and forth we went early with 12 lead changes and 3 ties. And once the Pioneers kind of righted the ship, held a 36-29 halftime lead, went up 40-29 to start the second half when LR called a timeout, and then they scratched and clawed on a 7-point unanswered streak to get back into it. Trimmed it down to 2 at 48-46. 3 consecutive possessions where they took a 3 for the lead and didn't score. Danso goes 1 of 2. Gets a rejection on Verist, who has his arm pinned on the glass by Danso. Pioneers by 12, 64-52. Fagan, Blevins, Dotson on the right side. Baseline is Blevins. Back out to the top to Hodnett. Pioneers have started hitting some shots. 3 to shoot for Dotson, who will drive, had his shot blocked, and LR has the ball. Verist into the front court. Lucas gets a better look, drives, and 1. Brandon Danso, I think, will be guilty of that foul. And Danso will pick up his second, team's 5th. That'll send us to a break. 3:22 remaining. It's Tusculum 64 and Lenoir-Rhyne 54. Pioneer basketball continues after this from Pioneer Arena on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Tusculum College Sports. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers.
Reed Lucas will go to the free throw line, look to complete a 3-point play, trim this deficit to 9. Tusculum 9 of 21 shooting second half. LR is 9 for 31. They're shooting 34% for the game, 22 of 64. Lucas makes the free throw for his 11th point. And it's 64-55. Pioneers are 9 for 21, 43% here in the second half. 44% shooting for the game. Well, the youngsters stay on the floor for now. But in a moment, 4 new faces will come in for the Pioneers, including Patterson, Mounts, and Davis. 10 to shoot. Fagan has it. Fagan had it knocked away from behind by Evans, comes up with the steal. He'll drive on Blevins. A blocking foul. Count it, 1. Blevins definitely got to the spot, but Evans had started his motion. And so Blevins picks up his second, team 6th, and the Bears to within 7 as Evans will go to the line for the three-point play. But this young group right now getting a hand as they did a wonderful job as they'll come off the floor right now. The bucket was good. And Darion Evans is at the free throw line for the three-point play. So, Evans, who steps to the line, team's leading scorer at 14.6 a game, 82% at the stripe. And it's a 6-point run for this Bear team on 2 made field goals and 2 free throws. 64-58. Fagan will bring it into the front court himself. Evans will defend him. Patterson gets a touch as we're at 2:40 to play in the game. Pioneers holding a 6-point lead. Zach Davis, Patterson. Patterson on the right wing. They get it to Mounts. Mounts, Patterson, Fagan for 3. Straight in the air, comes down. Hartle can't save the rebound, but Davis does for the Pioneers, and they get new life. 2:15 on the clock, Pioneers by 6. Patterson, watched by Evans. Patterson 0 for 7 from the field, no points. 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Handling to the right side. Fagan, he'll try another 3. This one is short. Hartle battles for the rebound. Chambers has it for LR. Varese saves it before it goes out of bounds. We're under 2 minutes to play in the game. Varese, Chambers, Bales, gets around Hartle. And it's tipped by Fagan. Right back to Lucas for 3. No. Rebound, though, by Chambers. Kicks it out, Varese. Lucas, another try for 3. This one's good. It's a 3-point game. 1:30 to play. 64-61. It's a 9-0 run for the LR Bears. And Mike Jones wants one of his 3 remaining timeouts. Pioneers, with 1:27 to play, have the ball. A couple of good looks for Fagan that wouldn't go down to extend the lead. And the Bears get a second chance opportunity after a missed 3 by Lucas. He makes the next one, and it's a 3-point Pioneer lead, 64-61. Reed Lucas now with 14 points, 3 of 11 from 3. We reset. The Pioneers, who have the 3-point lead, have 2 timeouts remaining. The Bears have 2 timeouts remaining, and the Pioneers have the arrow. Hodnett is not going to be allowed into the game. He'll have to wait. They didn't get there before the 15 seconds amount of time. Patterson on the inbound, watched by Varese. Pioneers must score, 1:20 to play. They have a 3-point lead. Patterson, 10 to shoot. Hartle, back to Patterson. Patterson in the lane. Kick out to Fagan. Better look for 3. Yes! Corey Fagan! Varese quickly into the front court. Patterson nearly had the steal, but comes up with the foul. Patterson stops the clock, and it's a 1-and-1 for Varese. Hartle will now come out. Hodnett is back in. A 1-and-1 for Varese. 63% on the year from the free throw line. Shoots the front end of a 1-and-1. He'll have another one because Pioneers were into the lane first. Zach Davis will try to argue, but I got out. The problem is you got in. You can't get in before that shot. So Varese will have another opportunity. Into the game will come Branford Rogers for Reed Lucas. Little offense-defense switch here already for Coach Sullivan. So new life for Varese after the mistake by the Pioneers, and he makes the Pioneers pay for their mistake by knocking in the front end of the 1-and-1 to gain the bonus. Pioneers had the stop, they had the rebound, but we got into the lane early for some reason, and he made both. 67-63. On the inbound is Zach Davis with 1 minute to play. Patterson in the backcourt, watched by Veriste. Patterson gets around him, stays on the dribble. Veriste not making it easy. Gets around him, and a whistle for a foul as Patterson has worked hard. And Patterson will go to the free throw line and shoot 2 free throws on the Chambers foul, his third. So Patterson will go to that stripe, looking for his first points of the game, attempting his first free throws of the game. Good. A string of 14 consecutive games where he scored at least 10. Kendall Patterson, barring some type of a furious finish offensively for him, he won't get there. But what he can do is extend the lead even more with another free throw. His second, no. Rebounded by Lucas. 68-63. 35 seconds to play. Veriste in the corner is Bales for a three. No good. Rebound, Chambers. Lost it as he went to the floor, and it's tipped out of bounds by Tusculum with 29 seconds to play. Hartle's going to come in for Chase Mounts, and now Philippe Lescovar will check in. This is definitely for LR. A must-make possession, you would think. Patterson knocks it away, knocked it out of bounds, and LR will throw it in once again. Pioneers have the arrow for any tie-up situation. And LR will throw it in again right in front of their bench, other end of the floor from our location. Evans, Lucas for three is no good, and it hits the shot clock and goes out of play. Pioneer basketball with 22 seconds to play in the game. Tusculum, who has not won against LR in Greenville since 2012. Tried to end 3 consecutive losses to the Bears as well. LR is going to take a timeout. It's a full break. We'll step aside and return, though, in 30 seconds. 22 seconds to play in the game. Pioneer basketball, they lead by 5.
Horrible things happen just about everywhere today.
Every day the news brings more bad news. I guess that isn't news. The world is full of problems. You may have asked yourself, what can one person do? In a word, plenty. From hospital volunteers to volunteers in service clubs and church groups, community individuals are making things better. Volunteers. Some good news for a change. Greenville Federal Bank, member FDIC. Banking made easy.
Welcome back to Pioneer Sports Pioneer Basketball, your home for Tusculum College sports. Once again,
68-63, Tusculum with a 5-point lead. It's been a long time since they've beaten LR here at home, 2012. What a win means today is that they would get their 7th league win, and with Anderson in action today against Coker, they were leading. They would at least stay within shouting distance if they're able to maintain that lead. Newberry is in action today as well. They were trailing Mars Hill, but that has changed. Another whistle and a timeout for the Pioneers out of the LR timeout. So just to look at the standings, Queens, LMU, Wingate, and Carson Newman, all double figures in wins. Catawba, who has won 5 consecutive games, are playing Carson Newman, and they were trailing at last check. Lenoir-Rhyne there in the top 8 at number 6, and then tied for 7th is Newberry and Anderson, with Tusculum looming 1 game back. So a win goes to keep pace if everybody ahead of us is to win. Obviously, LR would not, but they would not fall out of the top 8 with the loss today. The Pioneers would stay at least 1 game back. Pioneers next week on the road to Georgia Tech for an exhibition game, to LMU Wednesday, and to Coker on Saturday. Blevins battling on the inbound. And a jump ball and an arrow to stay with the Pioneers. So now the arrow switches to the Bears with 19.7 to play. The Bears putting immense pressure on the inbound. Skidmore is going to check into the game. He's going to put pressure with his 6'7" frame on the inbounder, Kendall Patterson. On the inbound, Zach Davis runs away from pressure into the front court to Trey Blevins. Blevins to Fagan, who is fouled by Skidmore with 12 seconds to play. They take 7 seconds off the clock. Skidmore picks up the foul. Fagan will go to the line and shoot 2 of them. So the Pioneers, who lead it by 5 in this offensive juggernaut to start the season, their last few games, have done what they've needed to do to win basketball games. Fagan missing uncharacteristically at the free throw line. Fagan with 19 game-high honors. Fagan with his second free throw. Gotta finish it here. 50% for the Pioneers at the line. They go 1 of 2. 10 of 19 at the stripe for the Pioneers. Verist losing it on the way up, but still scores. And the last timeout taken by the LR Bears. With 6.2 seconds to play, it's a 4-point game. Yes, next week, the Pioneers. I think we were trying to figure out what the road mileage will be for them. It will be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 2,000 miles. Probably around there. To Atlanta on Tuesday, to Lincoln Memorial on Wednesday, to Coker on Saturday. Then the Pioneers return home for 3 consecutive home games. Elsewhere in the league, it is Newberry leading Mars Hill 48-46. Anderson leads Coker 42-34. Queens leads Brevard 42-23. And it's now Catawba leading Carson Newman 33-32, start of the second half. LMU defeats Wingate earlier today, 97-87. Tusculum on the inbound, Zach Davis to Patterson. Patterson will be fouled. He'll have the ball with 3.8 seconds to play. He will be stepping to the free throw line, and Patterson with just 1 point. If I were to say that to start the game to Mike Jones, he would say, we probably haven't been very successful. Currently, they're 4 points better than LR with 3.8 seconds to play. Patterson makes the first free throw. Always good to see the commissioner of the South Atlantic Conference, Patrick Britz, in the house today, handing out some football hardware, handing out a trophy for the Tusculum women's soccer team, sharing the conference championship this year, and handing out individual hardware to Jonathan Speaker. Second free throw for Patterson. No good. 70-65. Bales from midcourt. Last shot of the game is short. That's it. Pioneers win. The Pioneers win as they knock off the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears by a final score of 70-65. Not a great shooting game for the LR Bears. They finished 25 of 70, 36%. The Pioneers hit 25 of 57, 44%. Made just 11 of 21 at the free throw line. And ultimately, the Pioneers' Corey Fagan catches fire in the second half, leading his team to their 10th victory of the year and knocking off the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears by a final score of 70-65 in the 44th recorded meeting between the schools. LR's 3-game winning streak against the Pioneers comes to an end. Coming up next, our Pioneer postgame look with Pioneer coach Mike Jones. That's on the way. Thanks for listening to Pioneer Basketball. Your final score, it was Tusculum 70, Lenoir-Rhyne 65. Now stay tuned for our Pioneer postgame coverage here on the Pioneer Sports Network.
post-game report on the Pioneer Sports Network. Your home for Pioneer basketball with the voice of the Pioneers, Brian.
Tusculum wins 70-65 as they knock off the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears and stay in that hot chase for the top 8. Trying to get into the top 8. Been out of that for a while. 10-12 now on the year. They move to 7-9 in league play. And we'll go on next against nationally ranked Lincoln Memorial in a game that will count in our league standings on Wednesday of next week. And then Coker on Saturday. Always a tough place to play. Always a tough road trip. Coker behind us at 4-11. And we're trailing Anderson 42-34 as they started the second half of action. For this Pioneer basketball team, man, they made it very interesting here down the stretch. They led 36-29 at the half. They jumped out to a 40-29 second half lead before a timeout asked for in the first 2 minutes of the second half by LR. And then they righted the ship. They went on a 7-0 run to close the deficit to 40-36, but the Pioneers would score the next 5 as we went to the first media timeout at 45-36. Tusculum would lead 46-36, but the Bears would go on a 10-2 run and trim the deficit to 2, and then had 3 consecutive possessions where they had a chance at a 3 for the lead, but they missed all 3 in that second half. They just didn't get it to fall as the Pioneers would trim that deficit, or the Pioneers actually would hold on to a 2-point lead, and then the offense would start to get going. They had been leaking oil. They hadn't been making shots, and Corey Fagan would spark a run for the Pioneers to build a 55-46 lead. He'd hit a couple of three-pointers in that stretch as well. And on the floor during that time were 4 freshmen and Corey Fagan. And the Pioneers would go to the under 8 break leading 55-48. They would have a 64-52 lead with 3:22 left, and they would just hold on for dear life. A 9-0 run on 2 made 2-pointers and free throws for 3-point plays the old-fashioned way, and then a 3-pointer by Reed Lucas would trim the deficit to 3. That would be as close as LR would get, as the Pioneers would make enough free throws down the stretch. Not good free throws. They would make enough down the stretch. And they would get the win 70-65. In the game for the Pioneers, they shoot 25 of 57, 44%. They were 9 of 24 from three-point territory, 11 of 21 at the free throw line. For the Bears, they shoot 25 of 70, 36%. They were 8 of 35 from 3, 7 of 11 at the free throw line. The Pioneers shoot 41% in the second half. We'll round up 42%. 10 of 24 hit 4 3-pointers. The Bears hit 12 of 37 in the second half, 32%. They had 5 of 19 from 3 for 26% in that second half. Pioneers get 42 rebounds. The Bears 41. 16 assists, 16 turnovers for the Pioneers. 3 blocks and 6 steals. For the Bears, they get 14 assists, 10 turnovers, a block, and 8 steals in the game. For the Pioneers, they get a game-high 20 out of Corey Fagan, 7 of 14 from the floor, 5 of 11 from 3. He was 1 of 2 at the free throw line with 4 rebounds in his 35 minutes of play. 13 points, a career high for Caleb Hodnett with 9 rebounds, 1 shy of his career high. 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3 for him. 12 points for Zach Davis with 9 rebounds, 8 points for Chase Mounts, only 2 points for Kendall Patterson, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, just 1 turnover in his 31 minutes. 5 points for Ronnie Baylark, who didn't play at all in the second half. Again, he's been bothered by a bit of tendonitis. 2 points for Trey Blevins, 5 points for Connor Mitchell, and 3 points for Brandon Danso for the Pioneers' total of 70 and their 10th win of the year. For the Bears, they get 16 out of Darion Evans. Just 2 points, but 10 rebounds out of Philippe Lescavar. 14 points for Reed Lucas. 16 points for Jalen Veriste for the LR Bears. 2 points, 13 boards for Jaquez Chambers, coming off a career-high 25 against Catawba. He finishes with just 2 here tonight. 6 points for Billy Bales. 9 points for Jarvis Calhoun for the Bears' total of 65 in the game. Tusculum has a 30-28 edge points in the paint, but the Bears a 21-11 edge in points off turnovers. Our 12 lead changes came within the first 8 minutes of this basketball game, but once the Pioneers took the lead, they never relinquished it, although it was tight down the stretch a couple of times. The Pioneers held that lead, and they go on to the victory against the Bears. In the 44th meeting, the Pioneers get their 17th win. The Bears, who had won 8 of the last 9 and had won 3 straight, see their dominance here at Pioneer Arena come to an end for the first time since 2012. for the Pioneers, their first win against the Bears since then. Again, your final, Tusculum 70 and the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears 65. Still to come in our Pioneer postgame report, Pioneer coach Mike Jones and our player of the game, Corey Fagan. That's as we continue here from Pioneer Arena. It was Tusculum 70, Lenoir-Rhyne 65. This is Pioneer basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Pioneer Sports Network, your home for Tusculum College sports. Now, head coach Mike Jones with Brian Staten.
Pioneers get a big victory against the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears by a final score of 70-65 here this afternoon. Gave you some other scores. We are the first one outside of Lincoln Memorial who started around 2 o'clock this afternoon. It was Newberry leading Mars Hill 48-46. Anderson was leading Coker 42-34. Queens was leading Brevard 42-23. Some updates. They have actually gone final now. Newberry has defeated Mars Hill 83-79, and Queens has beaten Brevard 72-50 in the basketball game. Joined courtside here in our postgame chat with Pioneer coach Mike Jones, whose Pioneers survived the Lenoir-Rhyne Bears 70-65. And I kind of say a little bit tongue-in-cheek. First half, 12 lead changes, back and forth we went. Good three-point shooting team. They didn't have it today. I think you guys did a really good job contesting shots, and that's where we'll start because I think you really made life difficult. Even the open looks they had, I think they kind of rushed just because they believed they were going to be defended well.
I was very pleased with our the way we grasped our game plan defensively. I think you're exactly right. And a lot of it hinged on our big players, Chase, Connor, Brandon, being able to get to a corner to cover a shooter as the ball was reversed. And, there's a couple that we were late on. But like you said, I thought we covered it really well at times, which was enough. It seemed like that when when we were late on some coverages, we got misses.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was a big help. We got a block shot on a three-pointer, and that stuff kind of resonates in the back of your head a little bit. So I was pleased with the way we defended. I thought they did a good job of being active and flying around the floor. Unfortunately, Ronnie going down hurt us a little bit. Obviously, we were planning on Ronnie trying to come in and have a really big game for us. Kendall is struggling offensively, which is really odd because he had a phenomenal day this morning, especially in shoot-around. Just shooting the ball really well in shoot-around. Couldn't get his rhythm going, but, he's so valuable to us in so many different other ways. I thought the key stretch of the game, however, was probably when the young ones were in, and with Corey Fagan as the only other player out there, senior-wise or upperclassman, and that freshman bunch of Brandon and Caleb and Keaton and Trey and Corey. I thought they did a really good job and extended this lead and got us a nice, a very comfortable lead where we were able to come back with the seniors and, for the most part, like you said, held on to a lead late. But I'm pleased with them. That's a really quality win for us, a big win for us. Repays the loss that we had on the road and kind of gives us a lot of confidence now to be able to hit a huge week that we have got next week.
Let's pinpoint that run though for your youngsters that were on the floor, because you had a 46-36 lead, then all of a sudden you look up and it's a 2-point game at 48-46, and you kind of went with that. You kind of said, all right guys, you need to get out there. Kendall, and I'll touch on that a little bit more coming up, but it just seemed like when he wasn't on the floor, LR kind of backed off even more a little bit some defensively. They did try to trap some, but that definitely left Corey Fagan open for some shots. And those youngsters know. I don't care how many youngsters are out there on the floor and how the egos that may be out there. They know that the elder statesman was out there, and Corey Fagan shot you guys into a victory.
And I thought that was really big, and I kept talking to Corey about, he had to be that, and a lot of times that calming influence. But with all that said, I think we've seen a lot of growth out of those young guys, and we really saw them mature this year. Caleb is playing phenomenally right now for us. I mean, just so good. 9 rebounds. He was a rebound shy of a double-double, and he's just always really active, getting his hands on a lot of basketballs. He's making open shots. And so we're really pleased with the way he's playing, as well as, Trey's come in and he's doing a nice job, and I have fought it. My assistant coach has really pressed it, but I've really fought playing Kendall and Trey at the same time. Yeah. And I've come around. I like them on the floor. I think it makes us gives us 2 ball handlers on the floor, and it's a way to kind of spell Kendall at times without getting him off the floor. Right. Which is helpful.
All right, you said Kendall had a great shoot around, but I'm going to say this. You cannot probably simulate the speed of Variste or Darion Evans. Well, and I think that it was just quick on quick, and that was the push. That was the push in the game, and really Patterson just, for whatever reason, didn't score in the game.
No, and, so much of Kendall's game has to do with how the officials call it. And because if he's really penetrating hard like he was today, and he's creating contact on his way to the rim, and those referees are not going to blow the whistle on that type of call, which they just weren't tonight. And it was on both ends. Yeah. Those type of plays, then he's struggling to score the basketball, and then he gets frustrated, and then it just kind of compounds itself a little bit. He's just got to continue to, remember how important he is to us in so many different ways. And then I thought he was pressing a little bit off on the from the 3-point line. He was trying to hunt that too hard. And he's just got to let it come to him. And we're very fortunate that we've got some guys that can score, and he's so important to us defensively that as long as he's doing those type of things for us, and we've got other guys around him that are doing their job, like Corey was tonight, that we're able to make up that deficit.
Well, the reason that I say we held on, because this is a good shooting team, and you just knew they weren't going to be under 30% for much, and you built that 12-point lead, and then all of a sudden they'd hit the and-ones, back-to-back and-ones, and then a 3-pointer on an offensive rebound tip-out, and, all of a sudden you look up and it's a 3-point game. And we did enough as far as making some free throws, but really another big 3-pointer by Corey Fagan kind of pushed us over the top. And how many big shots has this man made?
Yeah, especially the last 2 years probably. He's made several. He's had a great senior year. I'm really proud of him. He's done a nice job for us. And he's just, there's been very few games where he's been non-existent for us. He's always contributing some way. He's had big rebounding games. He's had really solid defense, and he's probably one of our most solid defenders. Although you don't see it a lot, but he's always in the right spot. So you never see him really getting burned offensively. Right. And that's because he's doing everything the right way. Right. And so we're really happy with him, and obviously we're going to miss him here in about another 5 weeks.
Yeah, no doubt.
For sure. But and that goes along with all those seniors. I mean, we're going to miss them all in different ways.
All right, we go about 2,000 miles next week, round trip, to Atlanta, to LMU, and to Coker. So it's, it was good to hold serve here at home.
Right.
And you got to look, down the stretch a little bit with our schedule. LMU, we play well in Harrogate. They do win again today. We're looking up at them. They're solidified a spot into the postseason with the win today. And then there's Coker. I mean, a lot of games remaining on this schedule for us, and a lot of gets out there as well.
Well, I think you're exactly right. What I just told the guys just in the locker room is at minimum we've got to split next week.
Yeah.
Now, you can pick which one you want to win.
Right.
Ideally, we'd love to get 2, but what we cannot do is drop 2.
Yeah.
So we've got to split minimum. And I think that we can definitely do that. It will be a hard trip or hard week because of the amount of travel we've got to do. I mean, you're talking about a lot of time on a school bus, or not school, but one of our travel buses, and a lot of games played. The Georgia Tech game is a huge game for us, and we're very excited about playing it. Unfortunately, they had to play on this date, and we had to say yes.
And that'll be fine, right?
And that'll be fine, but it will be a big week without a doubt for us.
Well, enjoy this one. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's a big win against the Bears.
It definitely was.
He's Mike Jones. Pioneers knock off the Bears, final of 70-65. Another break, and we're back with more of our Pioneer postgame report after this. Tusculum defeats LR 70-65 here on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Postgame report from the Pioneer Sports Network. Your home for Tusculum College sports. Once again, the voice of the Pioneer.
And we welcome you back into our Pioneer postgame and the wrap as the Tusculum Pioneers earn a split here this afternoon with the visiting Lenoir-Rhyne Bears. Game 1 went to LR, a hard-fought game, 57-53. Game 2, the Pioneers, another hard-fought win. They win at 70-65. Don't forget, join us. Our next Pioneer Sports Network broadcast will be Wednesday from Harrogate, Tennessee against Lincoln Memorial University. We'll travel to Coker as well on that Saturday, but we will not have coverage of Tusculum versus Georgia Tech in the exhibition game. You can tune in through the Georgia Tech website and for the coverage there through live stats, through video, radio coverage, for whatever it is that you will need for that coverage on Tuesday of this coming week when the Tusculum Pioneers again go on the road to take on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. That game will tip off at 7:30 in Atlanta. Next coverage of Pioneer basketball on the Pioneer Sports Network. Tusculum at Lincoln Memorial in Harrogate on Wednesday, and then travel to Coker on Saturday. Many thanks to all those involved with our Pioneer Sports Network broadcast, all of those who bring you all of the sights and sounds and of the video, and for everybody here at the table as well. The Assistant Athletic Director for Media Relations is Dom Donnelly. Great coverage from Jim Miller and all of the folks here at the table. For the executive producer of the Pioneer Sports Network, Nathan Humbert, for Mike Jones, for Devin Carter, I'm Brian Staten saying good night from Pioneer Arena.
You're off.